Good evening, I'm Tim McGonigal. Shannon Newth anchored our morning coverage. First at 10, earlier this week, Helena schools joined a growing list of Montana districts that have chosen not to return to the classroom for the remainder of the school year. MTN's Sam Hoyle caught up with some emotional seniors coming to grips with the fact that they've roamed the high school halls for the last time.
With students across Helena not returning to their classrooms this year, it'll leave a hole in the seniors whose graduation sits near. For Shannon Beardsley, a senior at Helena High, it's the major disconnect that comes with online learning.
I like seeing different people every day and interacting with actual teachers and stuff like that. And there's just a serious disconnect between a computer at home and turning in schoolwork.
Seniors all across Lewis and Clark County won't get a chance to build memories in their final days of being a student. For Lexi Hernandez, a senior at Helena Capital, one of the things she'll look back on and miss is not being able to pull off this year's senior prank.
The senior skip day, everyone's making a joke about how we're the longest, running one, and no one's ever going to beat us. But at the same time, it's kind of like, dang, I actually really wanted to actually do that and do the senior pranks and all that stuff.
For some, COVID-19 is even following them into their plans after high school. Corey DiDonato, a senior at Helena High, has plans to go to the Universal Technical Institute in Arizona to become a certified diesel mechanic. But now he's not sure what he's going to do.
I'm supposed to go to college soon, but I might not be able to go till almost next year because they might have to shut down because they're having such a bad time containing this COVID-19. That it's starting to affect not just us, but everyone around us and the future plans that we all had to do after we graduate.
And some, like Tegan Eblin, a senior at Helena Capital, didn't even know that the last day they set foot on campus would be the last time that they'd walk the halls as a student ever again.
We went to state and we had no idea. We thought we were going to come back and have loads of homework. That was the biggest thing is, oh my gosh, all the homework we're going to have when we come back. But the fact that we're never going to step foot back on there again is really depressing. It is really hard. And I don't know if I'll ever come to grips with that just because, I don't know, we're not going back and we don't know.
In Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN News.
Well, Great Falls Public Schools met earlier this week to discuss remote learning versus returning to the classroom. They expect to have a final decision tomorrow at noon. We will, of course, keep you posted. Foothills Community Christian School in Great Falls will continue the rest of the academic year online. The school year will wrap up on May 22nd. The head of school, David Culpepper, says they've been able to provide a nearly full curriculum with electives for the private pre-K through 12th grade school. Foothills has also maintained their regular grading system and did not switch to the pass-fail system like the public school district. Culpepper says they felt it was important, especially for their seniors, to set them up as best they can for college. He adds all students have access to the internet and technology needed to use remote learning. Foothills will still hold an in-person graduation ceremony.
We have 5 graduates, so we believe with 5 graduates and the size of that sanctuary that we should be able to get the social distancing that we need.
Graduation will be held on Friday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. at Central Assembly of God Church. Culpepper says they're still figuring out if there will be restrictions on how many people can attend the ceremony. Well, the latest figures from the state of Montana show Fergus County has its first case of COVID-19. It's a male in his 60s, one of 2 new cases since yesterday, the other one in Park County. Now, Fergus County Disaster Emergency Services said in a Facebook post the individual is a resident of Fergus County who has been out of state for an extended period and acquired the disease out of state and has not returned to Montana. They say the individual will recover out of state before returning home. Meanwhile, the number of Montanans who have recovered from the virus is now at 392. Health officials in and around Great Falls continue monitoring for any spread of COVID-19. City County Health Officer Tricia Gardner says their department is monitoring 2 cases of coronavirus. She says so far 11 of the 15 patients have recovered. As business owners prepare to reopen, Gardner says there are some important things to keep in mind. Those include considering social distancing guidelines in the workplace, wearing cloth masks, cleaning commonly touched areas, continuing telework, and checking in with employees.
Symptom monitoring and checks for employees when they come in, making sure they have liberal policies to let employees stay home if they are sick.
Along with Governor Bullock's plan and resources from the state, the CCHD has also created packets for restaurant owners and retail businesses that include more specific information. A link to that information can be found on our website. Well, as federal social distancing guidelines expire at midnight, some states are loosening restrictions while others are keeping them in place. Protesters, some of them armed, marched on Michigan state capitol demanding Governor Gretchen Whitmer lift extended stay-at-home orders. California Governor Gavin Newsom ordered Orange County beaches temporarily closed after crowds flocked to them last weekend. By tomorrow, at least 35 states will have loosened their lockdowns, some allowing retailers with limits on customers, movie theaters, and restaurants to open with capacity restrictions. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo ordered New York City subways to be shut for 4 hours overnight for daily cleaning starting next week. The transit system has lost dozens of workers to the coronavirus. Nearly 64,000 Americans have died. Well, after 6 weeks without nail and hair care, Montanans can finally treat themselves to some much-needed grooming. But just because they're back in business doesn't mean business is back to normal. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt tells us how one Great Falls nail salon has polished up on their prevention methods.
It's been a full month since nail salons have filled a seat or a set, and the wait to reopen hasn't exactly been a trip to the spa.
We pretty much living on our saving, so we don't make any profit while it's been closed.
Like a layer of polish waiting to dry, owner of Great Falls Nail Salon, Nail Club, Tammy Nguyen has patiently awaited the return of her clients.
We're happy to work. We're just happy to be back.
And isn't wasting any time letting the good news soak in.
We usually work all day
to try and buff up her customers' nails and her business. But with clients rushing to secure their seat, Nguyen has had to put some safeguards in place, since she has to maintain close physical contact to do her clients' nails.
Of course, we can't keep a 6 feet distance when we have to do people's nails. I want them to feel safe when they come here, and I want the people who work here to feel safe.
In fact, a safety guard isn't the only thing she's using to keep her customers out of harm's way. Social distancing markers, face masks, protective gloves, and a disinfectant solution are just a few of the changes you can expect to see when your appointment arrives. That's why
your first trip to the nail salon might look a little different post-quarantine, so I'm here to walk you through the steps.
First, they'll take your temperature, then you'll wash your hands. After, a nail tech will spray your hands with a pH 2.5 disinfectant water to kill any remaining germs and bacteria. And finally, you'll select your color before heading to your safeguarded station. Nguyen hopes by keeping her clients safe, she can keep her doors open.
I don't want to close again.
And that her customers help her to do so.
All I'm concerned right now is that I want to keep a safe place so that we can stay open. Just stay safe and stay open.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
Well, a new shop is opening its doors even in the midst of economic uncertainty, but owner Drew Hicks believes business will boom for his new butcher shop as the nation faces a meat shortage. The Rebound Montana's Keely Van Mittendorp has more.
Central Avenue Meats owner Drew Hicks says his butcher shop has been in the works for several years. Now he's ready to give Great Falls a taste of his craft that's focused around food.
We think that this might be the best beef that you can buy in the Northwest.
His beef is locally sourced from a ranch in Belt.
Not only the quality, but it is 100% grass-fed too, so there are a lot of health benefits too.
With many businesses on the chopping block after economic restrictions, Hicks still believes his timing is right on track.
We're excited to join the community here downtown.
Central Avenue Meats is providing a local solution to a national problem as the country faces product shortages due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
We've been working with Drew for about a year now.
Jim McCafferty has been a part of the agriculture community for over 50 years. He says the pandemic has created problems within slaughterhouses around the nation that will continue into the near future.
This is, I think it's going to be pretty much new to everybody.
McCafferty says a disruption in the supply chain creates a ripple effect on the entire process.
They've had to reduce production volumes, and so that's created a backlog on this end and a shortage on the other side.
I think that this is basically showing the cracks that we have in our food system right now.
Hicks partners with Quality Meats of Montana. A spokesperson in Miles City told MTN News operations are at full speed with slaughters booked out to 2021. Hicks isn't anticipating running out of products to sell to customers.
We have great local producers, And so we're luckier than some places.
And says supporting local is one way for Montanans to rebound as major meat suppliers search for solutions.
If people choose to support us, that they not only experience personal benefits with health, but they also see the economic benefit in their community.
Central Avenue Meats plans to open their doors to the public on Wednesday, May 6th, starting at 10 a.m. Reporting in Great Falls, Keith Van Middendorp, MTN News.
Financial experts say meat shortages are likely to happen with problems in supply chains for products like beef, pork, and chicken. If you can't find products in your usual grocery store, it's a good idea to check in with your local butcher shop. Central Avenue Meats does not anticipate running out of product due to locally sourced protein and a partnership with a Montana slaughterhouse. Our Storm Tracker weather team has been tracking some showers and storms through the day today, with rain still falling tonight. Brandon Michaels joins us now. Brandon, it's not raining quite as heavily as it was earlier.
Yeah, we've got a lot more showers in general and less thunderstorms, although we do still see a couple of lightning strikes on the lightning tracker here, mainly off to the east, starting to drift toward Valley County out of Phillips County and Garfield County right now. It's mainly that one cluster that you're seeing on your screen that's producing the showers, the thunderstorms rather. The rest of us are just dealing with lighter showers, with the exception of southern Cascade County. We've got some heavier rain there and into northern Marr County, likely going to be seeing some showers. We're probably seeing them right now in the city of Great Falls, and probably a couple of sprinkles in Helena as well. And again, we do have some slightly heavier rain off into Garfield Valley and Phillips County as well. We're going to take a look outside in Helena. Definitely some drops on the the Opportunity Bank ICAM. 49 degrees, so it is a little bit cooler in Helena than it was earlier in the day. Those showers cooling it off. And it looks like a little bit of fog in the background, or some showers in Great Falls. 54 degrees right now at the Great Falls Airport. As far as tomorrow is going, it's looking a little bit drier, actually significantly drier than today, and we'll have more on that later.
All right, thanks, Brandon. A programming note: this weekend will be your first chance to see all of the major party candidates for governor debate the issues important to Montana. Produced in partnership with the Montana Broadcasters Association and the Greater Montana Foundation, the governor debate kicks off at 6 with the Democratic candidates, followed by the 3 Republican candidates at 7, right here on MTN. Well, now that businesses are slowly opening, more hand sanitizer is needed. A Helena distillery continues to help stop the spread. That story is next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. The Navajo Nation in the southwestern United States is dealing with a high rate of COVID-19. More than 1,000 miles away in Browning, a group of women is stepping up to help. Lola Weipert has been sewing her whole life, and she typically sews ribbon skirts, but switched to making masks during the pandemic. She initially made 250 masks to donate locally. Family members joined in, then her sewing warrior team started to help. So far, they've donated almost 850 masks to keep their community safe, and 325 of the masks are also on their way to the Navajo Nation to help people there. For Weipert, it's a project that comes from the heart.
For us, all of our tribes, we always consider each other brothers and sisters, and we need to help each other out. I just put it out there and said, hey, I'm going to sew masks. If whoever wants to join, let me know. And I had a lot of ladies step up and say, hey, I want to do this. And I've had donations of fabric and thread and elastic, and it was just awesome.
Weipert estimates the women each work 3.5 hours each night, 7 days a week, sewing their masks. They're still accepting donations of fabric and other sewing supplies. They're now going to sew masks for the Star School community elders. And if you're interested in helping, we'll be posting a link on our websites. Well, Gulch Distillers received their first corporate sponsorship to mass produce their hand sanitizer for the Helena community. MTN's Alexi Aguayo reports just how much hand sanitizer they expect to make.
The Helena Association of Realtors is the first organization to sponsor Gulch Distillers hand sanitizer. They provided a $6,000 sponsorship on Wednesday for Gulch to make about 1,500 bottles of hand sanitizer to be donated around Helena.
As these are produced and distributed throughout the community, we are proud to be a sponsor as an association of this program. We hope that we will be able to continue to serve our community in a very positive manner.
Gulch Distillers have been making hand sanitizer for the community during the pandemic. They said they receive a minimum of about 25 to 50 calls daily for sanitizer.
And this is our community. We wanted to do everything we could to make sure that we protect and serve our community as much as possible. When we're not making our alcohol down here for people to consume, we are part of this community, and we do everything because of this is our place where we live, we raise our families here, and we want to make sure that everyone's safe.
Ghost Distillers will be delivering these bottles to areas most critical in the pandemic, such as hospitals and to first responders. In Helena, I'm Alexi Guayo, MTM News.
Well, our weather is looking drier, a little bit cooler tomorrow in the forecast. Not Montana Ag coming up next.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with meteorologist Brandon Michaels.
Well, we did pick up some much needed rain across at least parts of the state today. A quarter inch in Helena, which is good. Helena was definitely running on the drier side. We've only picked up 5 100ths in Great Falls, so we could definitely use some more rain there. Only 2 100ths in Lewistown. Not really much of anything measurable off to the east, although we are still tracking showers tonight. We've actually got a little batch of rain moving up toward Valley County, out of Phillips and Garfield County, and we've also got some rain filling in Cascade County, so hopefully we can pick up a little bit more rain in places like Great Falls and also sliding over toward the Lewistown area, because we are, again, a little bit on the dry side so far this year. We are going to continue to see those showers moving as they are over the next couple of hours, so definitely not done with the rain overnight. By tomorrow morning, a couple scattered showers here and there. If we see anything a little bit heavier, it's going to be off to the north and east, I think, up toward Daniels County, Sheridan County, really the northeast corner of the state there, seeing a little bit more shower activity. Some clearing into the afternoon. I think really a mix of sun and clouds for the day tomorrow, so partly cloudy skies are expected. Maybe 1 or 2 showers along the high line, but those are going to be very, very weak in general. Our weather's looking a lot drier tomorrow than what we saw today. It's also, though, going to be quite a bit cooler tomorrow. High temperatures, parts of the state, very, very nice today. 81 in Jordan, 81 in Glasgow. Those are the highest temperatures of the year, or rather in Glasgow, it is the highest temperature of the year so far. Havre hit their highest temperature yesterday and then beat it today. So they hit 80 today, 72 in Great Falls, and 70 in Helena. Looking temperatures across the area right now, kind of a big range. White Sulphur only 46 degrees, so a little bit chilly in White Sulphur and also Helena. Then you got places like Malta and Glasgow that are still in the upper 60s, although as that rain starts to move in, we are going to see that cooler air filling in, and everybody's going to get a little bit chillier overnight tonight. In general, though, mildest temperatures are going to be off to the east. 51 in Glasgow, 51 in Wolf Point as well, 46 in Fort Benton tonight, 40 in Great Falls, and down to about 42 degrees for the overnight low in Helena. Temperatures through the day tomorrow, again, not nearly as warm as today, but comfortable. We're looking at mid-50s by noon. That's already not too bad, and we get into the upper 50s, and for some of us, even the lower 60s by the time we get to the afternoon hours. So not a terrible day, but definitely a step down temperature-wise from where we were today. So tomorrow's actual highs here, 65 in Helena, 57 for Lewistown, 57 for White Sulphur as well, 63 for Great Falls, 60 in Cutbank, and then we're looking at some mid-60s, so a little bit warmer off to the east. Winds are going to be a little bit stronger off to the east too, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts in those areas. Most of us, though, in about that 10 to 20 mile per hour range. So decent amount of sunshine tomorrow, comfortable temperatures, most of us not seeing too much wind. Not a bad day for our Friday. Let's go through the extended forecast because Saturday actually looks a little bit nicer than Friday. Mostly sunny skies, warmer, 70 degrees in Great Falls. Late in the day, probably into the evening hours, we'll have a little chance for a rumble of thunder or a shower to pass through. And then a little better chance for some showers and storms into the day on Sunday. A little cooler with that rain chance too. 63 degrees. Your high temperature on Sunday, mostly cloudy, and 60 on Monday, and then we're looking at low to mid-60s to close off the forecast with a mix of sun and clouds. We'll go through the 7-day for Helena too, partly cloudy tomorrow, mostly sunny Saturday, again later in the day, a shower chance, and then additional chances for showers and storms on Monday, mostly cloudy, on Sunday, mostly cloudy on Monday, and then mostly sunny by Tuesday, mix of sun and clouds for Wednesday and Thursday, 65 and 60 for the high temperatures. Tim?
Thanks, Brandon. Some nonprofit organizations are making a big difference in their communities during the COVID-19 pandemic. See how one is stepping up when the news continues.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's News Leader.
Many nonprofit organizations had to adjust their operations overnight once COVID-19 limited public gatherings. MTN's Tom Wiley tells us how the Boys and Girls Club of Cascade County stepped up to meet the challenge.
On a normal spring day, this gym would be teeming with kids.
But today is not a normal day, and these are not normal times.
This place is normally so loud and it's so quiet in comparison, and we miss our kids, we miss our families, we miss our program services.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the gym at the Boys and Girls Club of Cascade County was repurposed overnight. Instead of basketballs, there are boxes. Instead of art projects, there are sack lunches. But the mission, helping young people reach their full potential, remains the same.
Yeah, we had to switch gears really, really quickly. We knew just from serving our families just throughout the school year or even just year long that there's a great need for food services, and food insecurity is larger than people realize. Not just meal service for our kids, 0 to 18, but for our families, just to have pantry items and food for their whole entire family.
Support from businesses and the community arrives swiftly and overwhelmingly.
That part is just truly amazing, not just for us, but for other nonprofits that are providing emergency food services. The whole community has stepped up.
Thanks to that generosity, the Boys and Girls Club is able to provide meals to over 200 kids and 100 households per day. Kids like Austin Threadgill.
Well, it's like another home for me. Like when I have things going on, I can come here and tell them what's going on, and I can trust the staff here and all that. It's really fun here.
And even though Austin can't see the staff at the Boys and Girls Club in person as much as he'd like, he knows they have his back.
Oh, it's been really helpful. We haven't had much food lately, and now we have a lot of food.
Every single person who's ever received food from us is so appreciative that if that doesn't fill your bucket, I don't know what would.
Tom Wiley, MTN News.
For more information and meal pickup times, you can call the Boys and Girls Club office at 406-761-1330. We'll be right back with a final check of weather.
Welcome back. We are starting to see a little bit of heavier rain pushing into Great Falls right now. A steadier shower moving through, some heavier rains down to the south of Great Falls as well, and a little bit of light sprinkles in Helena. We're going to kind of zoom out and give you a look at the whole region too, because we're tracking scattered showers all across north central Montana.
Well, the increased demand for flour has museum owners dusting off some old equipment in the UK. There's been a mill on this site in southeastern England for 1,000 years, and it's now a museum, though they would usually produce flour for a few days over the summer. Once they realized that local shops were having trouble keeping flour in stock, they decided to go full steam ahead. They've already produced more flour in 1 week than they did all last year. The first mill was built on the site in the year 1016. The current mill dates back to 1556. Wow. All right, that's being very resourceful.
Absolutely.
All right, that's all the time we have. Have a great night.